Not too long ago, we got our first leaked photo of Zachary Levi in the Shazam, costume from the upcoming movie that's supposed to be coming out April 2019. And it got a divisive reaction from fans because I'll admit it doesn't look that impressive in that photo. Not an official photo from Warner Brothers in DC now. It was something just taken while they were filming or he was testing on a costume somewhere on set or somewhere. And it does look pretty low rent. However, I'm not so quick to dogpile on this costume and say that it's horrible and means the movie will be horrible, like people always like to do when it comes to stuff like this. When there's a leak of a costume, it doesn't look good in the leak. It's similar to the situation that happened with Captain Marvel. I think earlier this year, late last year, there were these images leaked of Brie Larson. I think she was between filming or whatever. She was just on set walking around in her Captain Marvel outfit. And it didn't look that great either. And a lot of people were kind of dogpiling on that look and that looks horrible. But, here's the thing. Here's why I think in both these cases, people are being too quick to judge. And I'll just use Shazam as an example because that's the most recent one. But when you think about who the character of Shazam is, it might make perfect sense. Billy Batson in Shazam is a little boy who says a magic word and gets hit by a magical bolt of lightning and turns into an instant adult superhero. But he still has the mind and the personality of the little boy inside of this grown man's body. And if the lightning and the magic reflects his persona or thinking, it might not necessarily hook him up with this snazzy costume. I know in the comics, especially these days, they do draw Shazam looking really, really his costume looking really, really cool. But if the movie takes it in a different direction and it just has what a 13 or 14 or 15, I don't know how old he is, thinks is cool, that costume might actually look kind of cheesy. And it would fit the character. And this is just one scene in the movie. This could be early on when the costume hasn't been fully put together yet or something. Maybe there's some kind of in-movie joke, where oh, this costume's crap. And then later on in the movie, he gets a better costume or figures out the way to make it better by thinking differently about it. Or maybe in the movie, he has to have somebody make a costume for him. And if you're that young, are you going to know how to make a good costume for yourself or know who to make a costume for you? Especially if they're not supposed to know you're a superhero. I'm sure his foster parents aren't supposed to know that their little boy, foster care ward can turn into an adult superhero, or else they'll say you can't be a superhero anymore. So, he can't go to them. There might not be any adults Billy Batson knows who can hook him up with a cool, awesome outfit because he just doesn't have those connections or resources. And this could actually not be a scene from the actual movie. This could just be a test. They're fitting Zachary Levi or something and the costume hasn't been fully, this isn't the real costume yet. They're just seeing how it looks. And it could be the costume is going to look like this, but they have to put in effects with it, the editors in post-production, to make it look snazzier when it's actually on screen. A lot of superhero costumes and outfits, when you're actually physically there with the person filming, they don't look that impressive in person. You have to put effects visually in it, in post-production editing to make it look good for the screen. And I actually think this might be the same case with Captain Marvel, with Brie Larson. That outfit, it didn't look that good. But once they put all the special sauce in the editing room for the cameras, to make it look good when the editors are doing post-production, then maybe it'll look a bit more cooler on screen in the theaters. Because these movies, even though they're filmed, physically, a lot of the magic happens, once it's in the editing room and you have all these VFX and editing people making it, putting it together. So that may also be the case with the Shazam outfit. I wouldn't judge the Shazam costume or the Captain Marvel costume fully until, DC and Warner Brothers and Marvel Studios, in Captain Marvel's case, release the official photo, poster or whatever, and then we'll get some fuller context and fuller understanding. But what do you think? Has my argument, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here, have I convinced you if you were someone who did not like that leaked photo, the look in there? I admit it doesn't look that great, but have I made a bit more sense to you to maybe make you understand that maybe we're being a bit too quick to judge this until we get something official? Or are you still kind of completely sour grapes on it anyway? It's going to be crap. You can go ahead and let me know in the comments or whatever if you want. But please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep watching me do this, because I like doing these videos for you. I appreciate your viewership, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.